And welcome back to Intuitive Energies. My name is Jane, and today we're going to be doing a reading for you for the week of the 12th to the 18th. Absolutely. So this is the first reading of the week, and these are the first two cards that came back in. And I'm going to read them to you because, well, you know, who remembers these things? Although it was yesterday. As we go on, you won't remember the ones that I read for, like, Thursday and Friday and Saturday. So what came in was the Five of Emotion. Forgiveness is an important part of healing. Forgive yourself and those around you for any mistakes of the past so that everyone can move forward. Grieving is a normal part of life. Ask your angels or those you love to help you move through the process quickly so that you can get back to the path of joy. Wow, okay. And the next is give back. Today is a day to cast aside normal routines and make your main purpose to serve. It's about giving back without any thoughts or expectations of getting anything in return. Reach out and touch other people's spirit, as it's highly likely that someone really needs it today. Okay, so I spoke of the fact that when you're hurting the most in life, sometimes the best thing to do is to just turn around and do something nice for somebody else. I've done this many times in the past when somebody has really ruffled my feathers or made me feel bad, or I keep getting myself in situations. I would turn around and try to do something nice. One of the things that I remember is that I would go to work and somebody would make me feel awful, or even at some points make me cry. So what did I do one day? I turned around and wrote a blog about how a smile is something contagious and is something that you can gift as a gift to the world. I felt so much better after. Another time I was trying to get something done and I felt like I wasn't moving forward. It was either, I think, financially or something. I was having problems, so I turned around and gave to a favorite charity of mine. Not much, because I didn't have much, but it made me feel better. It made me forget that I thought, you know, if I think about it, I don't have that many problems, and I can resolve them in time. Some people have bigger problems as just eating every day. This is what comes to mind. The other part of this that is coming really in focus for me is that they're saying the forgiveness part is coming in, the Five of Emotions. You see somebody coming in and wanting forgiveness. Giving back to somebody is like giving them the benefit of the doubt. Not holding them accountable to the standards or the thoughts that you had before. And some of you are going to go, whoa, what are you talking about? If they hurt me, they hurt me. There's no two ways about it. I get it. But this is going to come in with the rest of the week, where it's listening and seeing. It's observing and witnessing. It's more of a fact of you being able to look at it a little bit with detachment. In other words, you're giving people, I don't know, the room and the space is what I'm feeling, is like the room and the space to bring something to light. Now you got to remember, at some point this week or today or whenever, okay, whenever you're watching this reading, something will be uncovered for you that you had not seen before. It's a deception. Either somebody will come forward. When I'm sensing it, it's not the type of deception like somebody's been hiding something from you. In other words, like this person hurt you, but it was even worse than you thought. It's more like there was a circumstance. You know, it's like, let's say this person hurt you. This person hurt you. And you held that grudge forever. Now, the circumstance is that there was something else at work here, another person, another situation, something that is bringing why that person did what they did to light. Now, it doesn't make it okay, but it does make it different in the way that you're going to perceive it. And it's going to be of good to you. I'm not talking about reconciliation as well. I'm talking about an understanding of your part in it. It would be almost like saying, they did it to me because it's almost like they're saying, this person did something to me and you held on to it thinking that you had somehow caused that person to do something to you. But the thing is that there was something else happening. So you're realizing that this that happened really didn't have everything to do with you. So you get to release that burden of thinking that it was all your fault. Okay? So it's something in those type of terms. And I'm talking relationship-wise, and I said that I would this week in love relationships, but it could be relationships with a parent, something where you put yourself at fault for something and you're realizing that it's really wasn't the way you thought it was going to be. So it's time to give back. In other words, it's of letting yourself open up enough to see the truth that's about to come in. And part of that is forgiveness of yourself and others. And the forgiveness of others is not to let them back into your life to hurt you again. It's to release yourself from the burdens. That's always what forgiveness is about. It's not about, I forgive you and I invite you back in. You can. Some people do. I've forgiven people and they're still in my life. I've forgiven my husband many times. He's forgiven me. The thing is that that isn't the point. The forgiveness of it is so that you don't carry the burdens with you or the mistrust with you. It's releasing that energy. Okay? All right. That was painful to explain, but that's the work you're doing this week. It's to be open enough to let it be. Now I'm going to take another Radley Valentine thing. I never use this deck or the Energy Oracle anymore, but I'm going to use them because I want to. And I find decks just, they simply rotate. At one point, you bring them back and then put them through the rotation. So let's do that. Let's put them through their paces, their rotation. And this is the Angel Answers deck. Okay. Look for a sign. So, yeah, what I'm getting from this is as well, just look for somebody trying to come in and, I don't know, want to make amends, want to do something here for you, want to do something different. Yeah, look for something specific, Pisces. You'll know what it is when it happens. It'll either be that weird phone call out of the blue, I don't know, something that makes you think of the situation. You might fall upon letters. They're showing me like old letters. Doesn't need to be love letters. Could just be old letters, old communication, yearbooks. What else are they showing me? A place that you went, and suddenly you'll find yourself thinking of the situation and what happened to get you where you are. It's just going to be a thing. It's just going to, and it's asking you to look at it. Right. First chakra, Archangel Michael. Nice. Okay. All right. So this came in, Michael. He's protection. He's security. Okay. I'm not going to even read this. I just know that the first chakra is the base chakra. The base chakra is all about security. It's all about trusting yourself. Okay. Love comes, you know what? When it comes to love, your base chakra has to be healed. Why? Because it's not only about not trusting other people with your heart. It's about you not trusting yourself not to make a mistake. So you have to really, you have to let your heart chakra heal. You have to heal your base chakra. You have to trust yourself to make those decisions again. Only then will you be open. And Michael is saying that he'll be there to help you. Number 8, good work, quality work, work well worth doing when it comes to love and being open to it. So it's time to bury the hatchet here. Okay? It is time to really get rid of that negativity. There are some people that you are still holding on to it in your life. You're still holding on to that thing. The way you dealt with them is by walking away and saying, I'm never letting them in again. And you're right not to let them in to hurt you. But you're wrong of not dealing with the pain that was caused and healing that part of it so that you can let it go. And that's the forgiveness. Look for a sign. Right. Something's going to play out to make you think. Maybe it's this video. Maybe you came here and suddenly you thought of that one person who did something. And that's the other part, right? And that lightning strike, that's that bolt. Oh, excuse my stomach. All right. What am I doing now here, Pisces? You know what I'm going to do? It's going to be really weird. It's going to be really weird. I'm going to start doing a Celtic cross. Why? I have no clue. I just feel like it. Let's do it. Let's do it, Pisces. Let's bring this. Let's do this Celtic. All right. And then I'll clarify with cards. Sometimes you just need to do it. Okay. So, okay. The moon comes out first. That's you, your heart, the heart of you, the moon. Of course it is. This card always asks you, can I trust my illusions? Can I trust myself? Okay? There's also, it could be confusion. There's a dream element to it. And we are getting the card of confusion this week. We are getting, wait a minute, I think there's, yes, in the seven of thought this week, there's going to be, you've been confused about a situation in your life. And suddenly, everything's completely clear. And that's what it comes down to. Okay? Everything's going to be very clear. So the reflection of the moon, look what's underneath the deck. The reflection of the moon is still the light shining on you. It doesn't shine its own light, but it definitely shines a light in the sky. So what you have to figure out is what light is it shining on the situation. Okay? So look for a sign. Look for a sign. Look for a sign. You've been hurt. And the 3 underneath the deck shows you've been hurt. So what's the block? Yeah. Okay. The block is... You see, this is the card of celebration, also in the reading this week. Okay? The spiritual guidance of it is celebrating how far you've come in everything that you've achieved so far, Pisces. I mean, it came in twice. It had the word celebrate twice here. And this is the celebration card. So definitely, when you start thinking of your life, and there's that 7 of Swords, I swear to God, they're all coming out. They're all coming out. It's just the same thing. You have to keep yourself in a high vibing place. And the celebration card coming out into a block here is saying that your mind is on what was done wrong and how you were wronged or how you wronged somebody. I have a lot of people watching. It's generally based on the negative energy that was felt, that you carry in your heart. And there's no place for celebration when that happens. And it's really hard to just maneuver through it, okay? But there is the seed involved. All I'm saying is there's something that you are not seeing. Even the moon card shows it, that you are underwater, and that what you're seeing through water may have been reflected incorrectly. So just be very careful. I also heard, like, this situation was celebrated. It was something that you really, before it all went wrong was really meaningful and special to you. Yeah. There's something that was like blocked from your view. There's something that wasn't really being seen. And it was, you know, everything happens for a reason. There's delays in something. There must have been something that you needed to deal with, or something personal within yourself that you needed to untangle. Okay? That was a reason for all of that. You'd say, well, Jane, if you say they act like that, why would they misconstrue or deceive? Why would I be deceived for so long about something? There's a lesson in everything. Maybe it's simply a fact of time wasted when things aren't looked at in the right way. If it's in a case that somebody has been like dismissed and it was never questioned or looked at properly when it should have, maybe the simple waste of time is the lesson in here. Okay? If the fact that you needed to heal yourself to get over what somebody did to you as well is to learn how to forgive, to free yourself, not to get back with somebody, to relieve that pain so that you can elevate to a different level, to forgive so that you can carry on and love somebody else, have place in your heart for someone else who will fill it in the right way. Maybe it's to develop a tolerance. I don't know what your personal situation, but there's different reasons why we go through what we go through when it comes to love. Yeah, see, there's a stagnancy and a delay. So everything has been on hold because of this. Everything that's happened has put you on hold in your own life because of this event or this situation. And I feel that the biggest one is doubt. Doubt in yourself, doubt in your path, doubt that you could give again. Remember, you're protected with Michael, okay? In heart situations, you're protected. It's almost like he's saying you can venture and look now. You can look now. Take a look and see what's really there. Is it really the way that you thought it was? Was there more to it? Did you make up your mind about something without getting the full idea of what you were making your mind on? Yeah. Okay. All right. So before it's a cycle of shift, the wheel, that's usually what comes beforehand. This was all part of a cycle. That's what I already told you. This was already meant to happen. It was just part of the wheel of going. And I know that a lot of readers say the Wheel of Fortune is a shift and a cycle. Get ready to center yourself. The world's spinning. Be preparing for everything to shift in a positive way. But let's face it, sometimes it doesn't shift in a positive way. Sometimes the shift leaves you feeling a little bit breathless in the way that it shifted. And while they're saying everything should be treated as an experience, some of those experiences don't feel so good, Pisces. I get it. They don't feel well. You don't feel well after this experience and you're going, yeah, I got wise from it. But to say that it's like something that I would love to go through again is probably not something I would say. But sometimes we leave it at that. We don't go in further. We don't explore to see how we don't reproduce that again, or get further deeper and find out the cause of it. And I think this is what they're getting at, okay? Get a chance to look at the further cause of it. Yeah. This is to open up your heart space. Your heart space needs to be open to communicate with Spirit, to communicate in your life. If you have a broken down heart chakra, and that means a broken heart for something or someone, you're going to have a hard time moving forward in a lot of things. Okay, so there's 3 that came. Wow, so what's coming forward? This is the 8 again with Michael, who's helping you with healing your chakra and protection. So here's a little like what's coming. You have the 10 of Pentacles and the 9 of Cups. Duh. Okay, so it's well worth you taking the time and doing this. Even to forgive yourself, to look at things and forgive that person, to say, I forgive you. Even when they caused you harm. I've looked at antagonists. There's some antagonists in my life who've hurt me so deeply, who still live today, that I had to really look at and look at their situations. And when I saw where they come from and their backgrounds, I realized that they sometimes the place they come from were not specifically there to come at me to hurt me. Personally, it's just they didn't know any better. So this is the example I'll give you. I thought that they hated me, and that's why they kept hurting me. And these are friends, or at least I thought they were friends. But when I realized what their lives were made up of and what was going on in their lives, I realized that they were not specifically targeting me. And that was the deception, Pisces. Okay? They were just reacting to circumstances of upbringing in their own lives. They didn't wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to hurt Jane. They just woke up and reacted the way that the only way they knew how. And that way I was able to send them in peace in my mind and burn that intention and say, it wasn't me. I don't define my value by the way they reacted to things that they couldn't react any other way at the time. Okay? So think about it this way. Think about it that way. I hope that helps you, because it helped me greatly. And it stopped me from being so resentful to those people. Alright, so let me see here, Pisces. Okay. Let's take a look at more cards in this beautiful Celtic cross and see what's going to, come in. No, that's too many. Ooh, they really want to jump out. The 8 of Cups.